Faith without action is meaningless. Many people talk about trusting God's plan, believing in divine timing, and waiting for their moment to come. But the truth is nothing happens without effort. You can't sit in your room, pray for success, and expect opportunities to magically appear. That's not how life works. God's timing is perfect, but He rewards those who are prepared. If you're not putting in the work, if you're not striving every single day to become the best version of yourself, you will miss the very blessings you're asking for. The world does not give handouts. Everything you want requires discipline, sacrifice, and an unshakable work ethic. There are no shortcuts. You have to earn your place. People who complain about their situation, who blame circumstances, who cry about how unfair life is, those are the ones who never reach their potential. They rely on hope alone, but hope without action is useless. The ones who win in life are the ones who trust in God's timing, but also understand that work is required. They wake up every morning with a purpose, ready to push forward no matter how they feel. It's easy to believe when things are going well, but what about when nothing seems to be happening? What about when you've been grinding for months, even years, and still haven't seen the results you expected? That's when most people quit. They assume God has forgotten them, that their efforts are in vain, but in reality, success comes to those who are willing to keep going even when they don't see progress. Imagine a man digging for gold. He's been at it for days, breaking rocks, sweating, exhausted. He's inches away from hitting the gold vein, but he doesn't know it. If he quits now, all that effort will have been for nothing. Most people in life stop digging right before they strike gold. Don't be one of them. Your preparation determines your success. If an opportunity came your way today, would you be ready? Would you have the skills, the mindset, the discipline to take advantage of it? Many people pray for a breakthrough, but if it arrived, they wouldn't be able to handle it. That's why the process is necessary. The struggle, the delays, the hard days, they are shaping you into the person who can sustain success when it finally comes. People often say, I'll start working hard when the opportunity comes. No, you start now. You build yourself into the kind of person who is ready, so when God's timing aligns, you don't hesitate. You don't second guess yourself. You step into that moment fully prepared because you've already done the work. That's how winners operate. They trust the process, but they also take full responsibility for their actions. They don't wait, they create. God's timing never fails, but only those who are putting in the work will be able to receive what He has prepared for them. Keep pushing, keep working. Your time is coming. Just because success is taking longer than you expected doesn't mean it isn't coming. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that if something doesn't happen quickly, it's never going to happen. They see others achieving their goals, making progress, and living the life they desire while they feel stuck. That frustration leads to doubt, and doubt leads to quitting. But the truth is, delay does not mean denial. The fact that you haven't seen results yet doesn't mean your dreams won't come true. It simply means the process is still unfolding and you have to keep moving forward. Most people want instant success. They expect immediate rewards for their efforts. And when things don't happen on their timeline, they assume it's over. But success is not a straight path. It's filled with detours, setbacks, and unexpected challenges. What separates those who succeed from those who fail is the ability to keep going despite the delays. Some of the most successful people in history faced years of struggle before they broke through. They understood that persistence is the key. They didn't give up when things didn't happen right away because they knew that every delay was part of the journey. The problem is that most people see delay as a sign to stop. They assume that if something isn't happening fast, it's not meant for them. But think about this. When you plant a seed, do you expect it to grow into a tree overnight? Of course not. You water it, give it sunlight, and trust that over time it will grow. The same applies to your dreams. Just because you can't see the progress right now doesn't mean it's not happening beneath the surface. Every day you put in the work, you're building momentum. You're developing skills, gaining experience, and positioning yourself for the breakthrough that will come at the right time. The universe operates on perfect timing, and God knows exactly when you're ready for what you're asking for. If you haven't received it yet, it's not because you've been forgotten, it's because there are still lessons you need to learn. Maybe you need to develop more discipline, strengthen your mindset, or overcome certain weaknesses before you can handle the level of success you're aiming for. If success comes too soon, before you're prepared, it can destroy you. That's why you have to trust that every delay is actually a form of protection, ensuring that when your time does come, you'll be able to handle it. Giving up because things are taking longer than expected is the worst decision you can make. The truth is, you could be just days, weeks, or months away from everything you've been working for, but if you quit now, you'll never know how close you actually were. Success doesn't belong to the smartest or the most talented. It belongs to those who refuse to give up no matter how long it takes. So stay patient, stay focused, and keep pushing. Because delay is not denial. Your time is coming. Opportunities don't wait for anyone. The success you're dreaming of will come, but only if you are prepared for it. Too many people sit around waiting for the perfect moment, thinking that when the time is right, they'll suddenly be ready. That's not how it works. You don't get ready when the opportunity comes. You stay ready so that when it does, you can take full advantage of it. Success is not about luck. It's about preparation meeting opportunity. The people you admire, the ones who seem to have everything figured out, didn't just stumble into success. They were working long before anyone noticed. They were sharpening their skills, building their discipline, and putting in the work when no one was watching. So when their moment came, they didn't hesitate. They didn't freeze. They stepped into it with confidence because they had already done the work. Imagine two fighters. One spends months training, conditioning his body, and perfecting his technique. The other waits until he gets the call for a big fight and then scrambles to prepare. Who do you think wins? It's the one who was ready long before the opportunity arrived. Life is no different. If you're not constantly improving, growing, and developing yourself, the opportunity you're waiting for will pass you by. Most people make excuses. They say, I'll start working hard when I see results. That's backwards thinking. You don't wait for results to put in the effort. You put in the effort first and the results follow. If you're not seeing success yet, it doesn't mean it's not coming. It just means you need to keep working so when the door finally opens, you can walk through it with full confidence. The harsh reality is that opportunities don't always come twice. Sometimes you get one shot, and if you're not ready, you miss it. This is why discipline matters. This is why consistency is key. You have to show up every day, whether you feel like it or not, because you don't know when your moment will come. The worst feeling in the world is looking back and realizing you had a chance, but you weren't prepared to take it. Think about it. If someone offered you your dream job, your dream deal, or your dream opportunity tomorrow, would you be ready? Would you have the skills, the knowledge, and the confidence to seize it? If the answer is no, then you have work to do. Stop waiting for the perfect time to prepare. The perfect time is now. Every day that you put in the effort, you are getting closer to your moment. Every sacrifice, every late night, every early morning is building you into the person who can handle success when it comes. God's timing is precise. Your moment will come exactly when it's supposed to, but only if you're ready to take it. Stay focused, stay disciplined, keep building yourself so that when the opportunity arrives, you don't hesitate, you dominate. Hard work and faith together create an unstoppable force. You cannot have one without the other and expect to achieve greatness. Too many people rely only on faith, believing that if they pray hard enough, things will magically fall into place. On the other hand, some people believe in nothing but hard work, grinding day and night, but lacking the mindset and spiritual belief that gives their work deeper meaning. The truth is, real success comes when you combine both, when you trust in God's plan while taking massive action every single day. Faith is powerful, but it is not an excuse for laziness. You can't sit in your room, do nothing, and expect God to hand you success. That's not how the world works. You have to prove that you are worthy of the things you desire. You have to get up, put in the effort, and show through your actions that you are serious about your goals. The strongest faith is backed by relentless work. If you truly believe in God's plan for your life, you will do everything in your power to prepare for it. You will work harder than anyone else, knowing that every ounce of effort is leading you toward your destiny. At the same time, hard work without faith can leave you feeling lost. There are people who grind every day, hustling nonstop, but they never feel satisfied. They never feel like they are enough because they lack a greater purpose behind their work. They chase money, status, and success, but they don't have the inner peace that comes from knowing they are on the right path. This is where faith becomes essential. Faith gives you clarity. It reminds you that no matter how hard the journey gets, you are moving in the right direction. It keeps you grounded and gives your work meaning beyond just personal gain. Challenges will come, and this is where most people break. They work hard, but the moment they don't see immediate results, they start questioning everything. And they wonder if their effort is worth it. They start doubting themselves, doubting God, and eventually they quit. This is the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. The ones who win are the ones who keep pushing forward no matter what obstacles stand in their way. They trust the process. They understand that setbacks are not signs to stop, but tests of their determination. Every successful person you admire has faced struggles. They have experienced failure, rejection, and moments where it seemed like nothing was working. But they kept going. They believed that as long as they continued working hard and trusted in God's timing, they would eventually break through, and they did, because that's how the world works. Effort and faith together create results. You have a choice. You can either be the person who talks about success but never does anything about it, or you can be the person who puts in the work every day knowing that God is guiding you towards something greater. You can make excuses or you can take action. You can complain about how hard things are, or you can get up and do something about it. The reality is nothing worth having comes easy. If you want something great, you have to be willing to earn it. So don't just pray, work, don't just work, believe. Combine both and you will become unstoppable. No matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you fall, you will get there. Because faith backed by hard work is a force that nothing can stop. Keep pushing, stay disciplined, and trust that everything is falling into place exactly as it should. Your success is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Keep going. Rejection and failure are not the end of your journey. They are part of the process. Too many people take failure as a sign to quit. They assume that because they didn't succeed the first time, they're not meant to succeed at all. But the truth is, failure is a test. It's life's way of asking, how bad do you really want this? The people who win in life are the ones who get knocked down but refuse to stay there. They learn, they adapt, and they come back stronger every single time. Most people fear rejection. They're afraid to put themselves out there because they don't want to hear no. They take rejection personally as if it's a reflection of their worth. But rejection is not a sign that you aren't good enough. It's a sign that you need to grow, improve, or take a different approach. Every rejection is a redirection, guiding you towards something better. Instead of seeing it as a reason to quit, use it as fuel to push forward. Some of the most successful people in history were rejected countless times before they made it. Writers, athletes, entrepreneurs, they all faced failure after failure before they broke through. The difference between them and everyone else, they didn't quit. The same applies to failure. Most people avoid failure like the plague. They play it safe, never taking risks because they're afraid to fail. But failure is the greatest teacher you will ever have. It shows you exactly what needs to be improved. It exposes your weaknesses so you can turn them into strengths. It forces you to develop resilience, mental toughness, and the ability to keep moving forward when things get tough. If you never fail, it means you're not pushing yourself hard enough. Every great success story is built on a foundation of failures. Think about it. When a baby is learning to walk, they fall hundreds of times. Do they ever stop trying? No, they get up and keep going until they master it. But somewhere along the way, people lose that mindset. They fail a few times and convince themselves that success isn't meant for them. That's a weak way of thinking. If you're serious about achieving your dreams, you have to embrace failure. You have to accept that you will face rejection, that things won't always go as planned, but none of that means you should stop. The reality is, every time you fail, you're getting one step closer to success. Every rejection, every setback, every disappointment is pushing you in the right direction. Most people don't have the patience or the mindset to keep going. And that's why so few people succeed. But you are different. You understand that failure is temporary, that rejection is just a stepping stone. You know that every great achievement comes after a long period of struggle. The question is, will you keep pushing or will you let failure break you? The choice is yours. You can either let rejection and failure define you, or you can use them to become unstoppable. Every time you fall, get back up. Every time someone tells you no, take it as motivation to prove them wrong. Success doesn't come to those who avoid failure. It comes to those who embrace it, learn from it, and keep going no matter what. So stop fearing rejection. Stop being afraid to fail. Instead, welcome these challenges and use them to grow. Because at the end of the day, failure is not the opposite of success. It's a necessary part of it. Keep pushing forward and success will be yours. Winners are not the people who never struggle. They are the people who refuse to quit. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail isn't talent, luck, or intelligence, it's persistence. Life will test you. It will throw obstacles in your way, push you to your limits, and make you question whether you have what it takes. Most people break under pressure. They start with excitement, but the moment things get difficult, they slow down, make excuses, and eventually give up. But winners, they keep pushing no matter what. Success is not about how fast you reach your goal. It's about whether you keep moving forward even when progress seems impossible. Too many people expect quick results. They want success overnight, and when it doesn't happen, they lose motivation. They start telling themselves that maybe they weren't meant to succeed, that maybe it's too hard, and that maybe they should settle for less. That's the mindset of losers. Winners don't think like that. Winners understand that success takes time. They know that no matter how hard things get, the only way to fail is to stop trying. Pain, struggle, and setbacks are part of the journey. There will be days when you feel exhausted, when nothing seems to be going your way, when every door seems to be closing. This is where most people quit, but this is also where the real winners are made. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never face obstacles. They are the ones who push through them. When others slow down, they speed up. When others make excuses, they double their efforts. When others quit, they keep going. Think about the people you admire, athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders. Every single one of them has faced moments of extreme difficulty. They have been rejected, failed countless times, and gone through hardships that would make most people quit. But they kept pushing. They kept showing up every day, even when it was painful, even when it felt like nothing was working. That's why they succeeded. Not because they were special, but because they refused to give up. Most people underestimate how close they are to success when they quit. They struggle for months, even years, and when they're just inches away from a breakthrough, they stop. The truth is, success usually comes right after the moment when you feel like quitting. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is simply that the winners keep pushing a little longer. They hold on when everyone else lets go. If you truly want to succeed, you have to develop an unshakable mindset. You have to tell yourself that quitting is not an option. No matter how tough things get, no matter how many times you fail, no matter how many people doubt you, you keep going. Winners don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. They don't wait to feel inspired, they take action every single day regardless of how they feel. The world is filled with talented people who gave up, intelligent people who never reached their potential, and hardworking people who lost hope. But the ones who win, they are the ones who refuse to stop. They get knocked down, but they get back up every single time. Now, they don't make excuses, they don't complain, and they don't wait for the perfect moment. They take control of their lives and push forward no matter what. So ask yourself, are you going to be one of those people who quit when things get hard, or are you going to be the person who keeps pushing until success is yours? The choice is yours. Winners don't stop. They don't break. They keep going no matter what. And because of that, they always come out on top. Your time is coming. The effort you're putting in, the sacrifices you've made, the late nights, early mornings, and the struggles you've endured, it's all leading somewhere. But the key to making it all worthwhile is simple. You must not give up. Too many people quit just before their breakthrough. They work hard, they push themselves, but when things don't happen as fast as they want, they start doubting. They convince themselves that maybe success isn't for them, that maybe they should settle, and that maybe all their hard work was for nothing. That is the mindset of failure. Winners don't think like that. Winners understand that every struggle is temporary, that every obstacle is just a test, and that if they keep going, their moment will come. Success is not about luck. It's not about who had the easiest path or who got the most help. It's about who refused to stop. If you look at the most successful people in the world, you will see one thing in common. They never gave up. They faced rejection, failure, loss, and pain, but they kept going. They had moments where everything seemed hopeless, where they questioned if they would ever make it. But instead of quitting, they pushed even harder, and eventually they got there. The problem with most people is that they expect immediate results. They want success now. And when they don't get it right away, they assume it's never coming. But that's not how success works. The reality is, sometimes you have to grind for years before you see the results. Sometimes you have to put in the work long before anyone recognizes your efforts. And sometimes your moment comes later than you expected. But if you stop, if you give up too soon, you will never know how close you actually were. God's timing is perfect. You may not understand why things are taking longer than expected, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. Every single day that you put in the work, you are moving closer. Every challenge, every setback, and every lesson is preparing you for your moment. If success came easy, everyone would have it. But the reason most people never reach their dreams is that they lack patience. They give up too soon, and they live the rest of their lives wondering what could have been. The truth is, there is no such thing as wasted effort. Every bit of energy you invest in your dream is building momentum. Even when you don't see immediate results, things are happening behind the scenes. You are learning, you are growing, and you are becoming the person who will be ready for success when it arrives. But if you quit, you lose all of that progress. The only way you fail is if you stop. Your moment is coming. The breakthrough you've been waiting for, the results you've been working for, it's all ahead of you. But you must hold the line. You must push through the tough days, the lonely nights, and the moments of doubt. You must remind yourself that everything worth having takes time, and that if you stay consistent, you will get there. No matter how difficult things get, no matter how many setbacks you face, and no matter how long it takes, one thing must remain true. You do not quit. Because if you keep pushing, if you keep believing, and if you refuse to stop, your time will come. And when it does, you will look back and realize that every struggle, every delay, and every obstacle was worth it. Keep going. Your success is not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when.